So, yeah.
Go ahead.
So when you look at the Buccaneers defense, they're one of the highest win rates. What do you see from them? What they hope to do defensively and some ways to try to combat that?
Yeah, they do a great job. I think Todd Bowles does a really good job of mixing it up. They run every coverage, really have every blitz scheme, have they do a lot of different things. So just they ought to be in our game and do what we do best and focus on what we got going on and try to handle what they do as best as we can. But he does a great job of getting his players in the right position to make plays and making those pivotal points in the game hard on quarterbacks and things like that. So got to meet him actually in the offseason. I know his son was thinking about going to Ohio State. Got to meet him there, and he's a real smart, good guy. So a lot of respect for what they do over there.
CJ, from the beginning of the season to now, what do you think is the one area where you've improved the most?
That's a great question. I mean, honestly, there's so many things. I don't know if I can just boil it down to one. I mean, it's been a battle every week of just not only trying to get the footwork down and trying to get this offense better, like in tune with my mind, just trying to get it down packed to where I can just remember and go play fast. Honestly, I would just say just being more of a pro as a quarterback, just being smarter with the ball, smarter not taking hits, just getting down, getting the ball out, taking the completions, and I would say that was probably the biggest step I've taken from college to OTAs to training camp to now, just being a better pro when it comes to just quarterback play and just trying to be veteran minded of getting my guys in the right position to make plays and things like that. So.
Bobby Sloyd talked about last week how he felt like center was like the second most difficult position behind quarterback, but you also have to have a relationship with the center. What's probably the most difficult adjustment or the thing that y'all have to work on most to be on the same page? Like, what can you explain to us the difficulties of going from the new center and on everything that you have to kind of get right?
Yeah, I mean, we start off with Scott, and Scott did a great job of being a veteran up there. He helped me out a lot with a lot of different things and gave me a lot of confidence. And then, sadly, he went down, and then Juice stepped up and did a great job too. Juice wasn't at first really a vocal guy, so I tried to help him with stuff like that along with Shaq and Josh and at the time Ken. And then, sadly, he had went down against the Saints, and then J-Pat stepped in and has been doing amazing and was really good vocalizing the IDs and the type of blocks. And sadly, I feel bad for my guy, man, but praying for him like always. But it's unfortunate. It's a game of football, but I know it'll pay off in the long run. Just the stuff that he already started in his career, he'll pick that back up right when he gets back out there. But now then we have Mike, and I think he'll do a good job. I mean, he's really smart. Blocks his tail has a really good high effort, like point A to point B type of guy, whistle to whistle. So I mean, me and him just have to get down our snaps, and we've been doing a good job of that. And that relationship is just it's how every play starts, which is half of what's most important in a football play. So with him just have to get the communication with the tackles, with the guards, communication with the IDs in the pass game and things like that. So I know he's played in this type of offense before he was even with the Texans. So I mean, I don't really see us having any issues. I think that he'll do a great job, and I'm excited to see him step in.
CJ, you have to talk to us about playing with swag, maintaining your confidence. How do you do that when things maybe aren't going exactly the way you want them to go? And then what have you learned, not just here, but in your college career, about how important that is to carry that confidence from game to game?
I don't really feel like, for me at least, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. It has to go anywhere. I think I am who I am. It's just it's in me. It's not something that I wear. It's not something that I can buy. It's just kind of how God prepared me and God wired me as a man. So I don't really see it going anywhere anytime soon, God willing. So I think I'll just have that edge and that swag, or whatever you want to call it, kind of just how I am. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm just a cool guy or anything, but nah, that's just kind of just how God made me. So I mean, as this year goes on, I mean, I feel like, yeah, it gets a little harder. But, I mean, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And that's something I just keep reminding myself, man, like the trials, the tribulations, the hard losses, the whatever you want to name it, it prepares you for things to come on in the long run. Like God doesn't just give you stuff right away. You have to be prepared and you have to build those calluses, and that's something that I think this team we're getting. Of course, it's not lovely and you don't love it, but like it's kind of like what you need. You get what you need, and I hope that we learn our lessons because that's the only time you won't get what you need if you don't learn your lesson from things like that. So I mean, my job is to keep the mojo on the team up, and I feel like I'm trying to do my best with that, and we're taking steps in that direction. So yeah, I don't think it really would go anywhere.
CJ, how does a copycat league? This is a copycat league. This is your, I think, the fourth NFC South team that you're going to face. And so when Tampa Bay goes back and look at the tape, they're not only looking at Atlanta and not looking at Scott and Carolina, but also you, their next opponent. You're one of those quarterbacks who never unlearns and always make sure that you make mental notes of what you've been through. How much do you expect to see of what Atlanta and Carolina did as far as defense is concerned this week with Tampa Bay?
Yeah, they're all really different type of styles of defense. Atlanta and New Orleans have a similar type of style. That's like I'm forgetting the head coach of the Saints. Yeah, Dennis Allen, excuse me. No disrespect to him. He's a great coordinator. I told you how I feel about him before, but that's like that tree. Atlanta's tree, Atlanta's DC came from Dennis Allen's tree. And then Carolina was Vic Fangio and like the Dolphins type of defense. This defense is more like, Todd Bowles is kind of like the king of it and started it, but theirs is like the Jaguars. So do a lot of different stuff, like make it really confusing, make it like the coverage is like the safety is be like it look like cover zero, then he'll run. They'll play cover three, like there's like some tricky Tampa 2 looks like. As I'm learning in the league, like a lot of guys do a lot of different things. It's about like what you can really focus on. Because if you try to focus on what they're doing, like as a defense, it's the NFL. Like you just gonna confuse yourself. So I try my best to have an idea what's going on and what they're trying to accomplish and know where I'm hot. Like what I'm saying, do different things like that. But they do a good job of knowing that too, and then countering something off of that. So and I know that the Jaguars DC came from Todd Bowles and his tree. I have a little bit of idea, but I don't want to wrap my hand around anything and then act like I have an idea, and then they go and do something totally different. So I'm just trying to play the game honest. But yeah, it's some of the things like you see defenses kind of match up together with different schemes on where they have been prior and things like that.
So CJ, how did both start this question? You mentioned that you'll throw a bunch of stuff at you, but when teams, you haven't been blitzed that much this year, so teams sometimes they'll try to put people on the line and do some sim pressure looks. When teams are doing that, how difficult can it be to decipher through all that traffic, who's coming, who's not coming, but still get the ball to where it needs to go?
Yeah, you gotta just focus on what you got going on and the plan if they do come. But you don't want to that's what defense, especially I feel like since me being a rookie, they want me to do is be up there focusing on the IDs and things like that. And there's a little bit of part to that, but you have to go and play football and play quarterback and try to depict the back end more than the front end. And half of that is just trusting with your own line and your center doing the right thing. So for me, I mean, I try not to focus on it too much, but have an idea of what's going on. So.
CJ, how frustrating are the bad passes at the line of scrimmage? Is there something that you guys can do schematically to avoid those popping up?
No, I mean it's football. Those guys, some guys know that the rushing isn't very great, and they just sit around and just jump around and play volleyball. So, and really, I mean, you can. For me, I mean, it's going to be hard for me to kind of see that because I'm looking down the field. So our linemen, and they know this, they're going to do a better job of just getting hands on guys and trying to get to them because if you watch the film, they're literally retreating and running back. So as an O-lineman, you don't want to be caught going downfield. It's just like an easy area. But nah, that's football. It's going to happen. So.
Couple more guys.
Hey, CJ, what are some of the challenges, if any, goes with trying to develop that chemistry and continuity with a new center? I know you mentioned Juice, Scott, and Jared earlier, but it seemed like you had more time to work with them in practice. Unlike with Michael coming in, it's like you only have a week and then boom,
That's the NFL. I mean, that's what I'm paid to do. That's what I have to figure out. And I've done it in other areas in our O-line before. I mean, I didn't get a week to practice with a couple guys. But, I mean, that's the beauty of the game, man. If it was easy, everybody would do it. So I'm not worried about it. I know Mike's a professional just like I am, and we'll figure it out.
Go ahead, Matt.
CJ, you were adamant after the game talking about, look, we need to push the ball downfield. We need to, push it, throw long passes. And talking to Nico and the guys were like, yeah, that's our guy, man. Yeah, we need to. But what would the coaching staff react to that? What did Bobby and D'Amico say? Were they happy that you were saying that, or how did they react to that?
They are right on board, and I think like Bobby has done a great job of doing things like that. And half of that, we got to get our running game together. Like you can't do it without running the ball. So we got to be able to run the ball better. But at the same time, we're really special in a lot of areas too. And Bobby and D'Amico are the first people to stand up and say that. So and I know like. That's the thing about like this league, man. You can't let one game define like who people think we are. Like y'all might have an idea, but we're the players, man. You know what I'm saying? So they're the coaches. We're gonna figure out as the Texans. I don't really think like it was taken to heart from anybody, and they know how much I want this. Like, and as a team, they know how bad we want to be successful. So I mean, this is a accountability-based business, and I think everybody is looking in the mirror like, how can we fix these issues and do things the right way? And we're excited to get that done. So D'Amico and Bobby have been really the forefront of that. And for me, I'm just I'm the coach on the field doing the same thing. So.
Last two questions, DJ, then Sarge.
How special was it to get out and visit those young kids on yesterday, you and your rookie class?
Finally, a great question. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, man, it was amazing. It really gives you a perspective of life and the small issues that I have, and like the blessings that I'm able to do every day to be able to play this game, and it made me like thinking like, man, it's just a game. Like these kids are in here fighting for their lives. So I'm praying for every single one of those kids that I got to meet and didn't meet. Everyone in the hospital, like from the youngest age to the oldest, like it's sad, man, and I'm glad I got to spend time with them and other rookies. Like it's really humbling. At the same time, man, it's to give them hope. It's not just supposed to be like, no, I'm not trying to make it sound like a pity party, but we want to give them hope and give them faith, because they can, God willing, do whatever they want to do in their lives if they work hard at it. And I know that there's some really strong kids in there, and I'm praying for them each and every day, hoping that their sickness gets healed, and they have some faith and some hope, looking forward to hopefully going back soon. And it was really good to step away from just the busy life of football and get with those kids.
DJ.
Through the first 4 weeks, you guys were prolific, pushing you, throwing over the middle of the field, top tier in a bunch of categories. The past few games, teams have done more, put up more concentrated effort to try to take away the middle of the field, especially on third downs. What kind of goes into, what's the balance from wanting to still do what you guys do very well versus trying to counter it so you can still be effective on third downs?
I mean, honestly, I don't think people have been just taking it away. I think a lot of teams, like, of course, they watch film, they're aware of what's going on, but it's up to us to, even when that happens, like, have to just be good in our second, third, fourth progressions, and that's somewhere I can grow and be better at, and as an offense, we can take the next step. But I feel like every defense is out there trying to stop everything. So I don't just focus on in-breakers, out-breakers, deep balls, short passes. You have to be great in everything and every progression. You have to be elite. So that's just where we have to take the next step, is just getting better at going through reads for myself, getting to that third, fourth progression, and being better at that. So, it's just the next step we have to take.
Thanks, CJ.
Thanks, y'all.